Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Graham.
What's up, guys? I'm Cody.
And this is the Overall Podcast.
A couple things we'll be talking about today. We got some sports on deck. We got a couple of video game topics and, of course, the Masters. Hope you guys enjoy.
This is my personal opinion because of how sports are going and how they're advancing and whatnot, right? I mean, Steph Curry can hit 100 threes in a row. 10, 15 years ago, get out of here. You know, people are dropping 130 points in a basketball game. Football athletes are running massive amounts of rushing yards every year, making insane amount of plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting a higher caliber athlete, I think, every decade. I think we're seeing a different kind of caliber that you can't really compare. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Michael Jordan, best in his era. Great.
He's the best ever.
Great. I hate the guy, and you're going to hate me for saying this. I know you are, because I hate him too. But LeBron James and him are in two different categories. They're in two different categories because they played in two separate eras. Would Michael Jordan in his prime time be the same caliber in this era as he was in the era then? And would LeBron James be that kind of caliber in that era? Because the big man back in those days didn't play like LeBron James. The big man didn't look like LeBron James, wasn't LeBron James. He's a different caliber human being. People weren't built the way LeBron James is built back in then.
Well, and being a small forward at 6'8", he's got the bulk to go down low with a 6'11", 7. You're right. Back then, I would say if he went down power forward in the post, it'd be interesting because
no power forward,
less fouls. But he's more athletic. That would be very interesting.
See what I'm saying? Is that's two different eras. So back to my point where sports are advancing, human beings are advancing athletic-wise. And I mean, and just anyway, brain, look at technology, anything in life. Everything always is progressing. Now, with Masters happening right now.
I saw an article on this. Go ahead.
Do you believe that we will see hole-in-ones become more frequent in championship play? I'm talking like not in warm-ups before the game or, before the weekend hits, when they get out there and they practice, usually they'll play around the day before or whatever. I'm talking about we're seeing maybe 2 or 3 golfers hit holes-in-ones, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 times during the full weekend. I'm saying like it's getting more common because the caliber of athlete, the caliber of equipment.
Yeah. I think the athlete and then the technology.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a very likelihood, maybe not now, but like 10, 15 years.
Well, what I had read too was like, I don't know, the average drive back in Tiger's heyday was like 50 yards shorter, right? And, like Dustin Johnson, just because he's at top of his game, although he missed the cut, rest in peace. Anyway, he's just known just driving long. Bubba Watson back in the day, they're just driving longer and longer. So like, I wonder when in the next 5 to 10 years, they're going to have to pretty much just make every course and therefore every hole longer. So that'll be interesting. Like if they do start making hole-in-ones more often, then they make the holes longer. I bet it would just kind of set it back to normal until they catch back up to it. But you're right, because the technology and everything else, all the resources, they will master whatever distance you make hole 4 at Augusta, like they're gonna get that information. They're gonna
like could you imagine let's say 20 years ago, let's just go back 20 years, okay, not too far back. I mean that's our lifetime, right? Let's go back 20 years. Could you imagine if Dustin Johnson showed up to the scene or not? I mean, Bryson DeChambeau showed up to the scene and fucking hit something 425 yards,
right?
Just with ease. Could you imagine? There's people would faint. They would be so shocked 20 years ago.
Yeah, because he's got like the build of a slightly slimmer John Daly.
Yeah,
who was a big ripper back then. But yeah, he put John Daly in his prime. He'd put him to shame on a drive.
Exactly. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Really, dude. I mean, you got to find that stimulant, man. You have to.
Yeah, damn right. Either it's Instagram or TikTok or tobacco or alcohol, or all the above if you're like, I don't know, from California or something. But.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's weird where our minds are at these days. You know what I'm saying? Like the need and the drive for us stimulant is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like more and more people are smoking, drinking, weed, drugs, whatever it is, and it's like,
I think it stems from technology and social media.
Like we
I
always
studied it in
need
college.
things fucking firing.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely right.
And I'm a product of this. I've been there. My brain's always active and a little bit of ADHD, but it's, I'm always looking for that stimulant. Like past 10 years, I can probably count on both my hands how many times I went to bed before midnight in the past 10 years.
Yeah. They say night owls are more intelligent, by the way, so win for us.
Yeah, I'll fucking take it.
But it was like, it's like I think we were doing a study on in marketing, because advertising part of that for the Super Bowl. So it's like spring semester. And they were talking about how like the average commercial length, like five, maybe not even that long, but pretty recently before this year. So this was probably 2012, 2013. It was like on average, every commercial is like has shortened like 30 seconds for the Super Bowl, right? Like these companies were still paying the same amount of money for that slot, of course, right? And then the TV companies are just making more money because they get to sell more slots. But the companies had to pay the same amount of money, but shorten it down because like our generation with social media, like just wouldn't even like retain but 10 seconds.
I mean, here's the thing: is it started with Vine, and it began there, and then Snapchat with Snapchat stories and having a time limit on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't put much product into what you were sending somebody, right?
The good old days.
Right. And it started with stuff like that. And then, we got into this mode, and then now TikTok has killed it. It ended the generation for us because we got to a point where now our attention span lasts 10 seconds. 20 seconds. And like most of the time when I'm scrolling through TikTok, if it doesn't 100% capture me, I will maybe watch 5 seconds of it.
Yep.
And then I'm on to the next. So you have to capture me within 5 seconds or I'm gone. That's how fast my attention span lasts. It doesn't take very long for me to just go, all right, that's boring. That's boring. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, I see. Yeah. And I see where you're coming from, where that's kind of ripped off a little bit for them having to pay more or pay the same amount for less time. But
I don't feel bad for him, but
I don't feel bad for him either. But at the same time, it's like they're probably still getting the same amount or more business from having a quicker ad. Because if you have a 1 minute ad, I'm more likely to just mute the thing.
Yeah, it's like
I don't care. I would rather pause.
Who doesn't skip after the 5-second ad, right? Who doesn't do that?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that you have to capture me in 5 seconds for me to want to watch more than that. So these ad companies that are now, we're being technically forced to watch it, they have to capture us. And they most likely will if they have a good enough ad, because it'll trend on social media and it'll pick up more action and pick up more views and pick up all this. And then all of a sudden, this $5 million ad that, 5-10 second ad turns into a viral Twitter feed that gets 100 million views in total and ends up selling 50 million, units of whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then the result is the same or more. So it may be even more beneficial to make it
is. Yeah. I see what you mean.
I guess less time ad, I guess, what I'm saying.
Yeah. So like you were saying, like if something doesn't grab our attention. So Game of Thrones, I forgot. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
3 times.
So I tried to watch Game of Thrones on Netflix. I was late to the party, so I didn't have HBO in college. I was poor.
Game of Thrones is on Netflix?
Wait, you're right. It was never. I did like free trials, but I had to do like a new email address every time. So like I wanted to wait for it to have a couple seasons. Anyway, but I tried to get into Game of Thrones probably for like a week for like 3 years in a row, and just like couldn't make it past like maybe the first 5-6 episodes. And then finally, to me, in my stimuli, right? Whenever spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, fuck off, right? Like,
yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, it's because you don't want to see it.
Yeah. Don't get triggered by this. But here's a spoiler: season 1, the main character Ned, of course, gets beheaded. But that was the second I was finally like, oh my god! Like I rose up and I was hooked.
Yeah.
But even then, it like I knew it was the greatest show, right? Like I knew with so many people saying it had to be real.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't get hooked. So
no,
I don't know. It's pretty funny.
So for me, like Dan Ray, my buddy, was, knees deep in this, watching it, season by season. Loved the show. And we were living together in College Station, and we'd talk a little bit and hang out, and then he'd dip off into his room to watch Game of Thrones, and then I'd, chill, play video games, whatever. And then one night he's like, dude, you gotta watch this. This season just got crazy good. And it was season 4. This is right after Red Wedding,
right before the books stop, right?
Exactly. He's like, this is starting to get good, and I was like, man, okay. And he's like, well, dude, season 5 is coming up. We should just binge it, and you should try to catch up right now because it comes on in like a month or two. I'm pretty sure it's season 5. And I was like,
that was season 5. Cool. Was good too. Battle of the Bastards was
it was it was season 5. So anyways, so he's like, dude, you gotta watch this. And I was like, all right, dude, all right, I'll get into this. So I was like, let me catch up. So I went in, got on my my free trial, that 1 month trial, and I got so hooked. I watched all 4 seasons in 1 month in my free trial. And get this, we've finished the 5th season with only 1 month into my trial. Like,
easy. Once I got hooked, it was game over for my life, right? Like,
greatest show ever. Man. It was actually the first series me and Hannah binged when we first started dating, because I talked about it all the time, and she was like, I gotta watch this.
Yeah, I got my wife into it too because she hadn't seen it.
Yeah,
rewatching it was fun because, like I said, the first several episodes to me, I just was like, oh my god, all right, a brother and a sister are having sex, or but it wasn't. Nothing was thrilling. It was just setting up the character plots, but. Going back now after I'm actually interested and I was picking up all the stuff. That was pretty interesting. So you said greatest show ever. I would say yes until the last season. Now we've had this argument, and anybody out there, I don't hate it how it ended. Like they're all holding hands in a Democratic council. Okay. I don't care about that. My point is how the season foretold up until that. Like, I don't know. Just like the Night King was done in 1 episode. Like, come on, man. Like, really what it boils down to is the shortened amount of episodes. Like, with more episodes
they should have lost Winterfell.
So much better.
They should have lost Winterfell.
Yes, and put Cersei, hold a flame to her ass a little bit, man. That would have been awesome.
Forced to retreat down, and they push into King's Landing, and they're getting ready, and King's Landing gets attacked, and then
oh, I love that.
Then the dragons come through and kill everybody. But here's the thing. I 100% loved what they did with Daenerys.
Yes.
Her going evil, and it like her just whole life being foreshadowed.
Yeah.
The whole time.
She was a Targaryen.
I'm not going to live up to this. I'm not going to be that. I'm not my father. I'm going to break the will. Snap.
And then it started like a couple seasons prior. Lord, I don't even remember his name, but one of Cersei's right-hand man that got cashed out. I think
Lord Baelish?
Baelish's dad, maybe? I don't know, but he was the older guy that used to help Cersei. You know what I mean? And then he was at Daenerys's council while no, not Baelish. Who's the guy who got the dragon skin? You know what I mean? Like he loved her, but she didn't like him back.
Oh, yeah.
Not him, but whoever that. I forgot his name. Jorah Mormont.
Jorah Mormont. Yeah.
No, his dad was at the wall, so
Jorah
never
Mormont.
mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was like banished, trying to get cured or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because she like sent him off because he betrayed her. Yeah. Anyway, my point is, some older dude who was like Cersei's, I don't know, maybe leader of the army or something like that. Whenever Joffrey's little bitch ass was in charge. Anyway, she executed a couple people that wouldn't bow to her. Daenerys did, like season 5, 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When she set on fire. Yep.
Yeah. And that was that's a big one to look back on. Like, she was always crazy.
Hey,
she was always power hungry, man.
You want a fun fact?
Give it to me.
An Aggie designed the dragons. That is his animation.
They were awesome. Bro, one of my favorite episodes was the speaking of one of his the dragon dying, getting pulled out by the Night King. God, that show was so good at one point, man. I'd say, back to my original point, it was number one for me. And now it is, I don't know, top 2 or 3. Breaking Bad took it back over because Breaking Bad was so good from start to finish for me. Breaking Bad is my favorite.
I loved Breaking Bad. Loved it. Great TV series.
It's different.
But here's the issue: is I have no desire to watch it again.
Really? I have. Oh my God, I have.
I would much rather watch anything else.
Actually, a friend of mine in college who got me into it on Netflix. He came out last summer, and we drove down to Albuquerque. It's like 6 hours or so, and we drove around to all the filming spots, and that was pretty cool. If you're ever in Albuquerque, right? Like, there's a International Balloon Festival, which is dope, and then that's about it. So if you ever find yourself there, not in October with the Balloon Festival, go check them all out.
Here's the thing. The fact that the people that live in that house haven't painted a pizza on their roof,
bro. I've got
like, what are you doing?
They retired. I'm sure they got paid millions or whatever, right? Like, they agreed to it. So, like,
yeah.
Anyway, painted the house, put up a fence, changed the exterior, put up trees. This older lady sits in her front yard with like a cooler of water and like just with signs that are, basically do it from the other side of the street, just bitching at people all day long. That's her hobby. Yeah. Speaking of the pizzas, I read that like that's when it started. Like, she didn't mind the pictures too much, but people were literally throwing like dozens of pizzas on the roof every day.
I love people. I love people, dude.
To my response, you have enough money, go, live, whatever. But
whatever.
That's easier said than done.
Speaking of like houses on TV shows, like the Drake and Josh house, have you seen that video where David Dobrik surprises Josh Peck at the Drake and Josh house?
It's a real house?
Yeah, it's a real house. The front of it is, but the inside is completely different. So it was for sale, right? And so on the listing, it showed that it had 5 bedrooms, it had a pool and a basketball court, and it's this like massive complex of a house,
bro. And their bedroom upstairs was like my goals. All right, sorry.
Well, dude. Well, here's the thing: is Josh was like, and me, it had 5 bedrooms, and me and Drake were sharing a room.
That's funny. And weren't they like? No, I guess they weren't in bunk beds, but they were still on the same side of the room too, right? Like we were just sharing a room right beside each other. That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, great.
I know the Full House finally sold or some shit like that.
It's nuts.
Hey, real quick on Apex. All right.
Oh yeah, let's talk Apex.
So I'm contemplating. So we met playing Apex for anyone out there who's interested. I know, right? Of all the games, we like it. I like it. I love it. I say this all the time. Unfortunately, Respawn, owned by EA, unfortunately, they made a damn good core game to where they can't help but make money and be popular. So that's why they don't make updates and shit. Like, they don't care, right? Like, they don't have to make their money. And this isn't like me hating on devs. I'm
a consumer. I can stop playing it anytime, but I'm addicted to the game.
I get it. But it is a core, really good game. Like, as much as I do hate, like, how do we still have server issues 3 months into the season? All this stuff. Trust me, I get it. That's valid. But my point is, I tried to, I went off to Warzone and I enjoyed it. Graham did. And, but it's not as good as Apex, even in my opinion, So anyway, I guess it's by fault. It's a good and bad thing that they like made such a good game, but now they don't have to keep up with. Yeah. Anyway, point is, I haven't played since I grinded to diamond rank first split of the season. So was that 2-3 weeks ago? Yeah. I'm not a fan of Olympus. I know I'm in the minority apparently.
I hate it. I hate the map. I won't play ranked. And the only time I play Apex now is during the 1.5 or 2 hour period that you can play Kings Canyon.
Yeah. and I hate pubs, right? Like I hate them. So like now I'm forced to play pubs basically if I want to play, just because I don't like the map. But so needless to say, I haven't played a lot, really at all. I'm thinking about playing tonight is the moral of that story, because A, we hadn't played in a while. B, okay, number 2, my battle pass, I want to get to level, I'm like 3 levels away from that like cool Wraith emote with the portals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm not leveled up past 82 or 3 or whatever, but I'm gonna get that. So
the season's not far from being over.
Yeah, what, like 3, I think it's 3 weeks, because that stupid
20 days, something like that.
I think there's stupid new event that they're putting out. It's going to last 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks of the season. So I think like this Friday, it'll be 2 weeks from that day or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I'm going to pull it up right now and see when this
I might play a match or two. I got to get that Wraith portal emote, just because when I saw it for the first time, like I think watching Twitch or somebody, I was like, oh, damn, was that in the last like event that you could buy? And I didn't see it, because that is the coolest skydive emote. So I just don't. My problems with Apex maps is it's already the smallest lobby in any battle royale, 60 people, right? 20 teams at most. And then their gunshot audio is, I'm pretty sure I've heard a dev say this on a stream. It's by purpose. It's on purpose, by design, that you can hear it like literally halfway across the map. They want to encourage like pushing and fighting for not slow games, which in theory I can appreciate. However, the way, that was probably the concept when the game first came out. However, you need to adapt. Like obviously third partying is the cancer of this game. It is the most unenjoyable part, no matter what level you play. It's disgusting. You shouldn't be able to hear outside of a POI or 2 at most.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Range it to 175 meters.
Yeah. Like another 100 on top of Bloodhound Scan and Wraith Portal or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You can hear gunfight. That way, somebody can't scan you from a distance. You can still push a third party confidently if you see a knock happen.
Yeah, and you can be aware that, hey, they're fighting, they might push your after. Like,
but here's the thing.
But
the cancer that's the biggest issue right now with Olympus is that once the third party hits, there's so much fighting going on that 6th and 7th parties end up showing up. And there's no way for you half the time to complete a fight, because there's not enough armor swaps around by the time that you're done fighting.
Yeah.
You have 110 light ammo. You got 1 bullet, 1 extra shotgun shell, and you're fucked when a full team comes up in all purple armor.
I think I guess what I was trying to say, and then I went on a tangent, is I don't understand why they would create a new map, Olympus, knowing all of the professional players and the community's, I guess, criticisms. Like choke points are the biggest thing of every single Apex map has like ultimate stupid high grounds in the entire middle of the map, whether it's Kings Canyon, World's Edge, whatever. And then choke points just everywhere. And then you look at Olympus, it's like there's these massive walls where, like, of course, you can also fall through the sky and die, which, side note, I also hate that design, but it's cool. Anyway, and then just this little cutout, that's 10 feet wide. That's where every single team had. Yeah, of course you're gonna get. I just don't like that. And anyway, so, I think they should adopt like a Fortnite siphon for ranked, where if you squad wipe, you get, I don't know if it's full or just 50 health, like a Fortnite or something like that. Armor swapping is kind of that in a sense, right? Like, which I appreciate, but it takes, I get killed going for armor swaps more often than getting them if I need them right then, right? Like, maybe you just get HP all the way or something like that. Either or. Like, so if you're getting third party by TTV Sweatlord, like, they're going to know, like, hey, everybody on this team is at least like 75% full of health.
Well, here's the thing. I think the best way to do it, and it would piss people off that aren't very good, but this is the best way to do it, is not maybe regen after you wipe a team, but you, like, the whole team regens. But, like, let's say you just knocked a guy, your teammate just knocked a guy, there's still a third up, and you're beginning the third party. Right now, as it is, if you if you put somebody into the finisher and you kill them through the finisher, you get your armor and your health fully back. You get 100% of your health back. if you do that. But that takes
it's just armor though.
Is it just armor?
Health.
Yeah. I thought it was health and armor. Either way, you still get your armor back. But that takes so long. So why not? What if I just full kill him and give me my armor back? If I full kill him and then let me get my armor back, I'm gonna be 1 HP still. At least give me my armor back. Even if I just shoot him to finish him.
Why not? Why do I have to go hold a button, scroll down in the box, and then click it? Like I'm getting the same thing. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That'd be cool to see. And maybe some of these stupid LTMs that they're LTMs and making everyone do in the next 2 weeks. Maybe I think I saw one that was like instant respawn, kind of like Warzone. And then there was one other. Oh, it was like armor or health regen based off damage or something. So maybe they're thinking about something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, well, when I saw Dev talking about it, he was talking about how we want to. This is 100% to see where the community lies. That's why they're doing all these modes.
Yeah, that's cool. I still think they could do it in its own little LTM box, but whatever.
Yeah. And the bad way is that they probably won't take personal remarks for it. What the way that they'll read it, and it's because it's the way they read everything, is they'll read it by analytics. Oh, well, this LTM was played more than this LTM.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing.
That's how they make every decision.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What if this LTM was great, but half the fucking time it was on Olympus?
Yeah. I had to play it. What do you mean? I know what you mean.
So here's the thing is, what if when they're doing these LTMs and they're doing all these LTMs that they're supposedly coming out with 5 different modes, I think. Don't leave Olympus out of it. Put Kings Canyon and
or just World's Edge.
World's Edge on. And alternate those. Let's just use World's Edge and let us all sleep in peace.
Yeah. Yes. And yes. And because
you will capture me for 2 straight weeks every night. If you just did World Edge on all those LTMs, I would play all of them.
I don't know if I'd do it all, but I'd definitely do it more than I think I've played once in a month or however.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be so rusty, dude. It's in such a bad place. Me and Denry played the other day, and the only way we won the game was by just rotating wide. And I think we both finished with 500 damage, but it was the last game we were like, let's just win this, But there was games where we'd get 5th place and I'd have 8 kills. I'm just
it's that new Octane meta, which again, I'm cool.
I am Octane, so it's fuck shit.
I don't like the character, but I'm glad that it's part of the comp meta right now because it's cool to see the changes. My problem with Apex has always been they don't make characters better. They do, but then at the same time they'll make basically they destroyed Wraith and then gave Octane a boost at the exact same time. So naturally, there you go.
Yeah, they're switching metas on purpose.
I get that. I just don't don't destroy one. Just make the other better or whatever. I guess just make good legends. Fuse, he's horrible. Don't just destroy and nerf every other character in his class, which they will do because his pick rate's low. They'll buff him too, but it's don't touch the other ones. Just make him better. That's all I want to see. You know, don't kill Wraith because no one plays Octane or everyone else. Just make them better, and then everyone plays.
Yeah.
Like Pathfinder, my God, rest in peace. Anyway.
He's done for. He's done for. The only way they make him better is by reverting back, and then they have to admit that they fucked up, and they never will.
Yeah.
Yo, did you watch the Masters this weekend?
Of course. Not as much as I wanted to, but I made sure to tune in Sunday. Did you?
Yeah. Dude, Hideki Matsui out of nowhere.
Yeah. The craziest thing, I heard something on the radio today. Brandon Stokely used to be an NFL receiver. He's on for the Broncos, and then he's on the Denver radio. Anyway, he predicted, I'm not kidding you, last Thursday, right, in the afternoon. So even if he watched them play, the top 2, what was it? Matsuyama and Zalatori, they were not in the top for Thursday, Friday. He predicted those 2 would be 1 and 2 at the end. I swear to God, he did. I don't know how he did it, but anyway, it was cool to see.
I honestly did not expect. Okay, actually, I did call Josh. All right, this is what I said. I had Rose dropping off. I knew he couldn't hold it the whole weekend. I did not believe it one bit. So I called that halfway through Saturday, Rose was going to fall apart. And he did. He did. He fell apart. I loved it. But then I had Speed having a heck of a weekend. And he did. He had a good weekend. But honestly, I mean, how do you beat that? I mean, I thought Matsuyama was going to choke it at the end. But, dude, he came out of nowhere. But I was proud of Speed for making the effort he did. Because, I think he was at even on Saturday at one point. So he had a heck of a weekend, but just not there. Yeah.
He bumped up a few pay grades just with Sunday's play, to finish tied for third.
He made $667,000.
Yeah, and Schaffel, man, he went. Oh my God! I mean, it's the talk of it, but he was within 2 strokes heading to 16. Just got a leg up with Water Hazard by Matsuyama. And what does he do? Just plops it right in the front pond on 16. I don't know how you go short there. I know there was a breeze. I guess he overcompensated. He was going really aggressive at the pin.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you have to land it, in no man's land and putt like at a 90-degree angle. I guess he was just trying to be aggressive. I don't fault him there, but you gotta make it there on that one. The green sloping towards you and towards the water, and there's a bunker. Like, you got to get it there. So that basically lost him the whole tournament. So.
Yeah,
that was tough to see. And then at the earnings board, he dropped from second place was like 1.2 million all the way down to 667,000. So it's like,
dude,
one stroke of the golf club cost you $600,000. Feels bad.
Could you imagine this $600,000 shot on the line, and you choke? Zalatoris, how old is that kid?
He's been on tour since he's probably in his 30s. I think he was part of the PGA's like Asian initiative. He's from Japan.
Not Matsuyama, Zalatoris. Or is that?
Oh,
yeah, Zalatoris. That's that.
Yeah,
Zalatoris.
He's the broke. Yeah, I don't know. He's young. I would bet he's not even 22. I have no idea though. I think he's from Wake Forest. But he's a stud. I think he's competed. That's his second major.
He's 24.
Oh wow. Yeah, he played in another major prior to this. They said, and he did okay. But yeah, that's incredible.
He's already made $878,000.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, actually more than that now because he just won 1.2 million.
Yeah, not bad in a day's work, huh?
Right. Just the easy weekend. Just the easy weekend.
I'll tell you something. The commentators were mentioning about him, and then I started paying attention as they started following him end of day Sunday because he was one of the final groups and, the tournament coming up to an end. But he was so quick in his address, kind of like Zach Johnson, but not so. He's got his like mannerisms that he does, like a repetition, which everyone does. But this kid was like, all right, he'd line it up. I mean, he wouldn't wiggle his club 2 or 3 times, take a practice swing next to it, and move his club in. He was just, all right, cool, line his club up, hit, like every time. And it was kind of neat to see. Like, I think the commentator said like the Masters would end in 3 hours if everybody played like him.
Well, I didn't get to really watch him play. I was busy most of the weekend, so I just like check my phone here and there. So I didn't get to see him play. Literally, the only ever time I saw him swing a golf club was when he was on the practice range, like keeping warm or getting ready. But dude, I mean, think about that. You're 24 years old. You're playing in the Masters. You could win this thing at 24. You could win the Masters. You're right. This is nuts, right? I'm insane. So, are you going to get up there and think about a shot? You will play the worst game you've ever played if you get up there and try to think about it. So I don't blame him walking up just boom. All right, next hole. I'm playing the Masters. What else could go wrong?
Yeah, I mean, and it was within reach because he parred 18, which was a good get up and down because I think his drive hit bunker, but don't quote me on that. But for sure, his approach shot, his second shot hit bunker. So then he had to get out of that and then like a tough 6-7 footer for par. However, if he birdies that and then Matsuyama bogeyed 18, so then you're talking about a playoff, which was all I wanted. So that's my only thing. But that's the only thing I wanted.
His 18 shot too. Yeah, on his approach, he bunkered his 18 shot, and then he had like a 4-footer for the win, and he choked it. And I was like, oh, I mean, he misses that long. That we're in a playoff round, boys.
I know. We were one stroke away, but all in all, it's pretty good to see, I'm partial toward like Americans winning, but it was cool to see Matsuyama, and especially because there's never been a male Japanese born player I've seen today. So I have no idea if a female Japanese born players won, but very cool to see. So I don't know. Hopefully Tiger, Fowler, a couple of my fan favorites are out there next year in Augusta. So fingers crossed.
You really think Tiger's going to be back out?
In a year from now? Maybe. I'm hopeful. You? Right. I guess not.
No.
Never? If you're calling it.
I'm calling Tiger's done.
Oh, shit. Don't say that to me. I mean, he's still like, what is he? He's not even 50. So maybe he'll get back out there with like the senior tour or something, like Fred Couples.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for a new episode of the Overall Podcast every Tuesday.
Hey, guys, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe right down below. Thanks for watching.